I be that young rapping dude, might just trap with you, coming with the thunder, babe.
Alright boys, here we go. Let's spawn in. Alright, we spawned and I'm going to tell you guys exactly what this video is going to be about. I've wanted to do this for a long fucking time, but I've never had time to do it. But now since we got offline rated again. Alright, I'm going to make the ultimate wrist guide for 2017. It's going to be so fucking detailed, you don't even know. This episode especially is gonna be for players that just bought the game and have no clue what the fuck they're doing. But hold on, alright? If you are, most likely you are, because you're subscribed to my channel or you're on my channel, you probably know what wrist is. You're gonna be like, that's not a video for me. You might still want to stick around. I'm gonna show a lot of tips and tricks and you might still learn a thing or two. So don't just click it away just yet and just watch it. Alright, I'm going to introduce myself really quick. My name is tAstics, this is my YouTube channel, hello, and I am a no-life wrist player. I have 6,000 hours in the game, and I've pretty much did everything there is to do in this game. I've been a builder, I've raid towered, I've raided, I counter raided, I did choppers, I did pretty much everything there is to do in this game. I was the leader of a big clan, I played in a big clan, I played solo, I played duo, you name it. Welcome to the ultimate wrist guide. As you can see, you spawn on a beach like always, and you have a rock and a torch, and that's basically what you have. And you're like, what the fuck is going on? What is this fucking game? Well, first thing you want to do is you want to get a spear, a stone pickaxe, a stone hatchet, and a map. So we're first going to cut ourselves some wood with our rock, and we are going to make a spear immediately. It's especially super OP when you start on a fresh wipe where the beach will be filled with nakeds. As soon as we have our spear ready, we're gonna make a map. It only costs 50 wood and we're going to need to farm a little bit more. And you make the map by first clicking a paper. And as soon as we have that done, we make ourselves a map. Alright, we got ourselves around 800 wood, which is actually a lot to begin with your rock. And we need stone. Stone is really random to get pretty much, but they look like this. They look a bit different from the other stones you will find, and this is actually the shittiest rock you can get. It gives you mostly metal ore and stone, but there are the gray ones that give you 3 high quality metal per stone. There's the yellow ones, which are most important late game, and they give you silver. Right, so we got some stone. Not that much yet, but we can at least make a stone pickaxe to make things go a bit faster. And while that's crafting, I'm gonna show you guys really quick what the map is all about. You press G, you have it in your hotbar and you press G. Press right mouse click and you can scroll out, you can zoom in, you can zoom out. And I'm gonna tell you guys real quick what you see on this map. There's roads that lead to red towns. It's really important to live semi-close to a red town. Even if you're solo, you wanna live semi-close to a red town. I'll explain you guys later why. The map is divided in 3 parts. It's always like that on every single server. It's desert. Right here is desert. I'm just gonna draw it for you guys. Desert, forest, and the north. Alright, these 3 things have something unique, all of them. The north, for example, is very cold. You're gonna need clothes on most of the areas, but it also gives you a shit ton of cloth. Forest gives you pretty much a bit of everything, but also a lot of wood. Desert, it's a lot harder to find wood and cloth, but there's a shit ton of animals. When you just first start playing the game, it doesn't really matter that much where you build, as long as you're on the edge of the map trying to live close to a red town. The red towns, by the way, you can just follow the road and you will find one, but they kind of look like these. Right, so we have our stone pickaxe, and as you can see, this is gonna go way faster than with a rock. It's so much faster. That's why you want to get them ASAP before you start actually farming. Everything is important in the beginning of a spawn. Everything is important. This is cloth, and with cloth you can make a bow, you can make clothes, you can make sleeping bags. And with sleeping bags you can respawn, or you can make your friends spawn close to you. So you're definitely gonna want that. Since I'm playing solo, I don't think I want a sleeping bag yet. I think I'm gonna go for a bow. You need 50 cloth and 200 wood. Also, you can find stones like that on the floor, and silver and wood piles, and they give you 50 wood or 50 stone per. But like I said, you need everything when you just spawn. If I were to be solo on an actual server, I'm on my own server now, by the way, so I can tell you guys, and teach you guys in peace, but I'm just gonna live right here. It's fine for me, it's in the middle, I can go wherever. It seems like a pretty good area, there seems to be a lot of resources, so it seems good. These are trash piles and they can contain like these boxes or these barrels, and this gives you everything you need for early game. You get everything. I will make a list of components down below and exactly what you can make with them to help you guys out a little bit. But basically you can get everything from this to make clothes, to make upgraded tools, to make semi-good weapons like the semi-pistol, the semi-rifle. All you need then is rifle bodies and SMG bodies, and you get them from the big ratans. Rifle bodies, for example, are made to make bolts and AKs, and SMG bodies are made to make Thompsons and SMGs and all that shit. Alright, it's turning night. I do not feel like playing in the night, so I'm gonna make it day real quick for us. There we go. I'm gonna explain to you what I usually do in the beginning of a wipe. So say we have our bow, we have our spear, we can protect ourselves, we have our tools. I usually cut around 3k wood right off the bat, and I'm gonna show you guys why. Let me cancel my arrows real quick. First thing you wanna do is you wanna make a paper and a hammer. With this paper, you're gonna make a building plan. Alright, and I kind of cheated. As you can see, I gave myself a shit ton of wood, but that's because I need to show you guys what you should do and what you should not do. Like I said, when you're solo, you want to look for a place that's super deserted and it should be a bit close to a red town. So right now we are not close to a red town at all. So I'm just gonna fly somewhere. So yeah, let's live right here. We have the water tower, like I believe this is the water treatment, and we can live on the edge of it. You cannot build too close to the red towns. So let's see. Now let me show you guys exactly what the building plan is. It allows you to build all of these cool things: doorways, windows, foundations, everything. With the hammer you upgrade this. However, it already starts with making your foundations, because if you make them too low, then you can't expand your base the way you want to, because the ground in Rust is always uneven. So you want to make them high enough but not too high so you can't jump in. But if you also make them too high, then people can blow up your foundation and just crouch inside your base. So I kind of want to make a 3x3 like that, and it fits, so that's perfectly fine. That's great for us. Then what people do, and that's a big mistake, is they make huge fucking twig bases and people can get in and they don't upgrade it. This is twig. Look how fast I can break into someone's base like that. It's nothing, it's just the structure of the base. It doesn't do anything. So you want to grab your hammer and you want to upgrade it. This way it's a lot harder to break it. Also, what I should not forget to mention is that you have a hard side and you have a soft side. You can see it really well. This is the soft side, this is the hard side. You should be able to see the difference. With the hard side, my tool breaks way faster, and with the soft side it barely breaks. And you see how fast I take that down? It's like so strong. So you want to make sure you have everything facing the right way. Also, when you start, if you have 1k extra wood, you should have that. Like I told you, you should get at least like 3k wood before you even bother starting to build. You're gonna make a cupboard. And the other thing that's super important, don't start building too big. In a 1x1 you can fit everything completely fine to really start the game. So just make a 1x1 so you're able to upgrade it all. There we go. And it's all upgraded. It's gonna be pretty hard for people to get in here unless they are already end game. You're gonna need a flamethrower to get in your base, and that's pretty hard to get, especially on the first day of the wipe. Alright, so we got our cupboard and we are going to place it, and I'm going to show you guys what it does. Press E on it and you see we have building privilege. This means that nobody in the game can build around your base except for you. It reaches pretty far, it reaches like until here, and you can't build anywhere here. Nobody can build here except for you and anyone else in your group that has the cupboard access. So that's what a tool cupboard does. They're very important, never forget to place them. Next step, you should have enough wood to make a door and a lock. So we're gonna craft that right now. Also, since we have enough cloth, craft ourselves a sleeping bag, so it's really our house. We can spawn here, we're gonna be able to open a door, etc, etc. Now this guide might be a bit slow, but I have to, because I do not want you to get fucked the first time you play Rust. Because believe me, you're gonna get fucked. That's what Rust is. It's this beautiful fucking sandbox game. Everything you're doing and everything you will do is fuck with other people, and they will try to fuck with you. So be careful. Put your door in your hotbar, place it, And there we go, we have a door. But anyone can open this now. So you want to make sure you craft the lock like we did. Press it on there, create a key, and everyone that has the key, it has to be crafted of course, can open the door. Be careful, if you get killed outside and they find your key, they can and they will most likely try to open your door. There's a good way to prevent that, and I'm gonna teach it to you right now. That's exactly why I told you to make enough wood as well, because trust me, it's better to die while cutting 3k wood and starting over than trying to build your base and people take it over and it fucking sucks. We're gonna place a sleeping bag, try to place it as neatly as we can, and we're going to craft a box right away. If you have the key, you can create unlimited keys. You can create a bunch of keys. You should at least have one extra key, at least. And I'm gonna show you why. Alright, so we made our box. We're gonna place it. I usually place it like this so you can still exit the door. By R, you can rotate everything you're placing, by the way. It's pretty good to know that. And we are going to place everything that we don't need in our box. And I'm gonna show you guys why. Why it's so important to have extra key in your box. Because say we go outside now, we're farming, someone else kills us, we can spawn in our sleeping bag. It has 5-minute cooldown, by the way, just so you know. We can grab another key. Make sure, I completely forgot about this, my bad. Make sure you have some wood in your base. Always have some wood in your base. You can just unlock with key, remove the lock, put the lock back on, create a key, and it will be a different key that you need to open the lock. This way, that other person that has your key cannot get in and you're still safe in your base. It's very important to do that. Alright, so now we're in our base, we're now 1x1, we're semi-safe, we're feeling good, but as you can see, we're starving. Let me explain you real quick what the 4 things that you can have in this game are. Actually, there's 5. 1 is starving. If you reach 0, then you're gonna lose HP rapidly. You can be dehydrated, you will lose HP, and you will not be able to run, so you're gonna walk slow. You're not gonna be able to run or sprint, you're gonna be walking slow all the time, which sucks. You can be too cold and you need clothes. Say you're in the north, you can get way too cold without clothes and you can be like -30 and you can die super fast. If you're too hot, it doesn't really do that much. Don't worry too much about it. And if you're bleeding, like say you get shot by an arrow, you could be bleeding and you can lose some HP from that. So now we're in our base, but we're slowly dying. We don't have a furnace yet. We just have this. We still need a key for our lock, which kind of sucks. So what do? You kind of want to go outside and you want to get more resources. Like I said, I can't stress it enough. You need so much when you're first starting. You need everything. So let's run around and we're just gonna hunt everything that we see. We're gonna get wood. We're gonna get these nodes. We're just gonna get everything. Quick tip, when you're farming, always look around you with the Alt button. I have it on my mouse 3 button, so I just press my mouse for it, which is a lot better in my opinion. But always keep looking around you. Also, while you're farming, always keep moving. Always move. Never, unless you're really bored and you're like fed up with farming, whatever. But always try to keep moving. So it's a lot harder for someone to sneak up to you and one-hit you with an arrow. There's a few ways to go about if you're starving, and one of the ways is to run to like not too close because there's radiation, and we'll explain it later. You want to run towards like a red town, and you want to find there's food piles on the floor next to the roads and stuff and close to red towns that you can take, and they can give you water bottles, they can give you chocolate bars, and it helps a lot. There's our first animal, guys. Those are really annoying because they will start running as soon as you hit them. But you can even get these with a hatchet. They will run away from you, but they have stamina. So as soon as their stamina runs out, you can just chase them. You will catch up to them and you can just even rock them to death if you would like to. Right, so right now we have animal fat and you can make fuel with that. You need cloth and animal fat to make fuel. You use fuel to fill up your quarry. We're gonna talk about that in another episode. You need it for medicals, you need it for a bunch of shit. Like, you're gonna need a lot of fuel when you're playing, so never skip an animal. You can use leather for high-end gear, you can use it for clothes, you can use it for a lot of things, so you want to keep it. And you get bones. Bones are not that important in this game, except for the first few hours of the wipe. because you can make a bow knife with it, which gives you the maximum amount of fat and food and everything that you can get from an animal. So you want to save up 60 bone frags and you want to make a bone knife, and after that you can basically drop all the bone frags, it doesn't matter. Oh, probably one of the most important things actually you can craft with fuel, especially early game, is the furnace. You need 50 low grade for the small one and 75 for the big one. 9 out of 10 times you start with a small one though, so we're gonna do that right now as well. So we're back in our base, we farmed an animal, we got some cloth, blah de blah. We want to make a campfire. You're gonna need your campfire in your base. When it's night you can't see shit without it unless you have a torch still on you, but usually you kind of drop that. And you're gonna need it for warmth, you're gonna need it for comfort. If you have 100% comfort, which you get by standing next to other people, you heal faster and you obviously cook your food in it as well. Alright, we have our campfire crafted, we're gonna place it and we are going to cook our food. You can see that I spread it. It's because you want to do this with campfires, with furnaces and all that, because it's every slot cooks just as fast. So if you have everything on one slot, it's going to go one by one by one, and if you spread it out, it is all done at the same time, which is what you want. Obviously you don't want to sit in your base for 24/7. You want to go outside and get more resources and more action. Since we have so much stuff, I'm actually gonna make 2 more boxes and then it's gonna be time to expand our base. We're gonna eat this. We're not starving anymore. We're gonna get some health from this. I kind of fucked up on the spacing of the base. So I'm gonna rearrange my sleeping bag. I'm gonna place it right there so I can make a furnace here and another box right here. I'll just give myself 100 fuel and we're gonna make a furnace right away as well. Right, so we have our furnace and we are going to need to place it. Again, I fucked up on the It's gonna happen, guys. It's gonna happen. I fucked up on the spacing again, but it's whatever. As soon as you have your furnace done, you want to melt it. All right. I mean, you want to cook all the metal ore you have. The charcoal, you want to keep it. You can choose to let it spit out, but in general, you want to be back on time to pick it up before it despawns. What's a good idea is to just let the charcoal spit out like that and keep the metal frags and just hope you're back in time. You're gonna need charcoal to make gunpowder later and you're gonna need a lot of it, so always save up on the charcoal. Now it's kind of time to expand our base. Another fast quick tip, make your door open towards you. So if you get door camped, say you open a door, there's 3 people, do not be surprised if this happens, because it is gonna happen 100%. 3 people, for example, camp your door with their bows or whatever. Just spam your door, close it, and you can respawn in your bag and you're good. It's a lot harder to close your door if it opens to the outside. So right now we're outside. One more very important thing I forgot, guys. I'm gonna forget some things and I'm gonna come back to it during this guide. One more pretty important thing I forgot about is you want to bring a building plan and you want to get at least like 200 wood, and you're always gonna need it because when you run into a bear or a wolf, they do a lot of damage. What you can do is you can make a building plan, put a foundation on the floor really quick, make it high enough so you can jump on top of it. When you're on top of the foundation, you can still just bow it down or spear it down. Spearing is pretty hard, but it works, and a bear will just fuck you up. Like, don't even try. If you don't have a gun, don't even try to one if you want a bear, because it's gonna fuck you up. Alright, so we actually ran into a bear, and I'm gonna show you exactly what I mean with building a foundation. Bears are the best animals you can kill because they give you the most resources, the most fat, the most cloth, the most meat. So you always want to kill a bear. It's a shame I can't make a bow knife yet. Pick up all my arrows with E. So we're still gonna have to do this with our stone hatchet, but it's gonna give us a shit ton of stuff. It gave us 13 bear meat, around 50 animal fat, and you get like double of this. You get like 19 bear meat and like 100 animal fat, and it's really good. You basically want to kill every animal you see except for chickens. Fuck chickens. Chickens give you like nothing at all. But especially in the beginning of a wipe, you want to kill every animal. But even late game, and there's a wolf we talked about, even late game, you want to kill bears and pigs because they're so fucking good. Alright, so we made it back home into our little 1x1 and we just farmed acquired some stuff, and it's really time to expand on our base. So what you want to do next is you want to make yourself an airlock. An airlock means basically, you will hear it a lot in Rust. It basically means, an airlock basically means something where nothing is. So literally air lock, alright? So if someone would camp your door and you have another door here, then all your stuff is still going to be behind this door, so it doesn't matter for you, right? And you can have a sleeping bag outside. Once again, I forgot that. Put a sleeping bag outside, don't forget it. Put it in a bush somewhere, so you can come back later, close your door, and not lose anything, right? I just cheated again, I'm sorry, but say your furnace did melt a lot of metal ore, and I hear a bear. You can hear the bear, you can hear the footsteps. So we're gonna kill it because we really need it, and we're gonna make a bow knife right away. Right, and we're gonna get that in a second. First thing we wanna do though is these doors can be flamethrowered, right? Everything that's wood can be flamethrowered. Everything above wood, so stone, sheet metal, armor, you need explosives, which is end game stuff. So we want sheet metal doors instead of these wooden doors, so people actually need real explosives to get into our base. Also, with the metal, we can make sure we don't need these fucking keys anymore, because that fucking sucks. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna craft a code lock, 2 code locks, and a sheet metal door for now. Alright, so we got the code lock. We're gonna remove the lock. You can literally throw it away because you're never gonna use it again. Press E on it and you can fill in any code you want. Let's make a door that way. Let's see if we can make it. Oh, I made it sheet metal, that's fine. Sheet metal and stone take just as much explosives to blow through, so that's completely fine. We're gonna put the door here. We are getting a lot of resources right now, and we don't have enough space to put them all. Right, so we are in our 3x1, and just imagine that we farmed like 15k stone and shit, right? So just imagine that. Right, so we have all this stone, all this wood, and we're like, yeah, let's fucking expand our base. Alright. For now, we've been upgrading it 1x1x1, which you will do unless you stacked up on a lot of shit. And after that, you can actually start making the base. We said we wanted to make a 3x3, which we have right now, and we are going to finish it. Since this is a pretty open space right now, you might want to put more furnaces here or more boxes temporarily, instead of in that crowded place. So we are going to make an airlock here. So even if we open this door, they can't go anywhere. Of course you want to face everything the right side, so when they come in they only see hard side. We're not going to place doors right now because that can't be ours. So now we have this, we have furnaces running, everything. We have the airlock, and we want to make a second layer on our base. What you're going to have to do is, you probably don't have the components to make a ladder hatch right now. So I can show you what you can do in the meanwhile. You can make another airlock. Put twig stairs in there for now. Why can't I rotate it? There we go. And there we are. Alright. You put a door here so they can't get in or anything. Even if they boost in your ladder hatch, they can't go anywhere. There we go. You can still make the second layer then on top of your base. You want to do it here as well. Not just because otherwise they can get in, but also because it's way more defended. For example, if you only have that ladder hatch here, all they have to do is blow the ladder hatch and they're downstairs. But since you have these 2 doors, it's a door, a ladder hatch, and another door, and then they're downstairs. What you also want to do when you make your second layer, always make your third layer right away. Alright guys, you want to do that and make sure you have enough to upgrade it. Why, you ask? It's because players can boost on top of each other. You can boost as high as 2 levels. So that's why you want to make it 3 levels, so it's pretty much impossible to boost it. And in this loot room, every loot room should be in the most defended area that's in your entire base. Alright, so there we have the shelf. We're gonna place the boxes. I didn't make a door frame yet, so you can place it more neatly. And right now this is most likely the most defended place in the base. And you want to make sure that your loot rooms are honeycombed, and I can show you right now where the honeycomb is. Let me fly outside real quick. So say this is your loot room, right? Imagine that this is your loot room. What you're gonna do then is you're gonna honeycomb it. This is a shit honeycomb, by the way. It's people are gonna be like, oh, that's shit, dude. Well, whatever. I just want to show you guys what it is. what I mean by that. Alright, so say this is your honeycomb, right? It means that there's nothing there except for maybe doors. And it seems like it's a waste of resources, but it really isn't. You always need to honeycomb your bases. Because if they blow in, they're gonna have to blow this wall, and then they are in your loot room, except for maybe one wall. So always honeycomb your bases. Always. Now, this can be seen as honeycomb. It's not that strong because it's a 3x3. Triangles are way more strong for honeycomb. There's 2 tips I have to give you guys because this is nearing the end of the video. I'm not gonna show much more about building, but I want to tell you guys 2 things before you get fucked over. One of the things is, do not build your base out too far without making cupboards. If you build your base, say this far and this like the same height, you know, then they can raid tower your base really easily. You would be surprised how many people, even veterans, forget about this. Raid tower your base, get on top of it so easily. So be careful for that. If you do want to build out your base, make external cupboards. Just place, for example, cupboard here, upgrade it, build it off, doesn't matter. Nobody else can build except for you. Always be careful where your cupboards are. Always. Another thing that even really good players forget is don't build anything that they can boost on. Say you want another airlock, build it 3 high right away. Don't build it 1 high. Like build it 3 high so they can't boost. If you build it 1 high, people can boost on top of that, and then they can boost on top of your base. So always make sure everything is 3 high. And another thing with the boosting is don't place structures outside that can fuck you over. So if you want to place a big furnace, that's fine, but at least build it off with high externals or something. Don't place it, for example, like this, and people can boost on top of it and then boost on top of your base. And probably the best tip of the entire video that I can give you is remove one of your foundations before you log off, because the biggest threat in this game is being offline raided. It's something you can't do anything about. It will happen to you tons of times, and what you can do to at least prevent the people to get your loot is pickaxe one foundation. It costs you like about 1k metal frags and about 1k wood, and you can store everything in the foundation. I'm gonna show you how. I believe it's 10 cloth per stash, and you can just place stashes. You can hide them, but you don't have to, but you can hide them, and you can put shit in it. And once you did that, you can actually build a twig foundation over it and build it off. Probably the best tip I can give you guys. Before we end the video, I do want to show you guys the red towns real quick and what radiation is before you just run into them. When you get close, you're gonna hear a sound. There we go, that's the sound. And as soon as you hear that, you want to be very careful. You can see I have radiation poisoning, and every radiation you get pretty much is 1 HP off your body. There's only certain places in certain red towns where there's radiation, so just be careful before you enter somewhere, before you go somewhere. Make sure you don't hear that sound, and if you do hear that sound, get away from there as soon as possible. Don't run in, because the radiation is gonna get stronger. What you can do, if you have full clothes, you're going to be very protected already. If you have some armor and some clothes, you're going to be very protected already from the radiation. Alright, so now we have our clothes and we can go inside and we hear the sound, but we don't get as much radiation as before. This is one of the heaviest radiation spots, by the way. Usually you won't get that much, but the more clothes you wear, the more, you can see it here, the more radiation defense you get. The best thing you can get is the hazmat suit, and once you have that, it gives you no protection at all, but you barely will get any radiation. You won't get any, like you will lose like 5 HP per 5 minutes or whatever. So that's what the red towns are. And also why you want to live close to a red town is because all of them have these recyclers in them. These recyclers, you can recycle everything. You can recycle all the components you get that you don't need. You can recycle it, turn it on. Be careful because other people can hear it. It's gonna give you a bunch of shit. So always pick up everything and bring it home, because even if you don't need it, you can recycle it and get a ton of shit. Right, so that's actually it for this video. Next video, I'm gonna tell you everything about the medics, about what you want to do when you go outside, the first time we're gonna go roam, what we want to look out for, how we're gonna approach things. But at least for now, you know how to build your base, you know how not to get fucked easily. You know all the basics of the game. You should be able to figure out the rest by yourself, but for those who are interested and who don't want to get fucked the first time they roam or they raid or whatever, I'm gonna show you exactly how to build raid towers and all of that shit in the next episode, which probably will come out tomorrow. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys can learn something from it. I'll see you guys with the next survival episode. Peace.